Good morning, team, and Happy New Year. Thanks for joining me. I'm Corey, and today we're going to be doing some Battlesnake streaming. Just hanging out. I don't have a specific plan of what we're going to work on. I think we're going to work on Irene, my Monte Carlo tree search snake, and just see where we go. One tool that I've been thinking about is being able to visualize some of our fixture data better, so maybe we'll do that, and we'll kind of see where the day takes us. But first, let's do a quick Battlesnake intro if anyone's new. Battlesnake is an online multiplayer game where you control one of these little snakes here. And how it works is you write a web server that decides how your snake moves. It can go left, down, up, or right in each move. So the server sends you a move each turn, and you just get to decide if you want to move up, down, left, or right. And the move contains all the snakes, all the food, and any other things that might be on the board, and you just get to decide which direction to go. And so I've been doing Battlesnake for a bit, and we're gonna continue working on that today. I don't have great feedback of how I sound on the mic, so chat, if you're hanging out, please let me know how everything sounds. Okay, so it is January 1st, Happy New Year's, like I said, but that means we have new battlegrounds here. Thank you, not even joking. We have new battlegrounds. So battlegrounds run monthly, and you enter snakes in some different like arenas, different game modes, and you can compete. So I had my improbable Irene in a few of these, in Wrapped Royale, in duels, and in standard, and she did okay. The Monte Carlo tree search is working okay, but definitely has some bugs, and I think that's what we're gonna work on today. Want her to be more competitive. So let's go back to our current battlegrounds and add, these ones just started and I haven't added Irene yet, so let's add Irene to these. How was everyone's New Year's last night? Hope everyone had a good time. I'm not going to enter Constrictor because my snakes don't really know how to play Constrictor well. Constrictor's where you always grow and your tail doesn't move. And my snakes don't really know that game mode, so we're gonna skip that one, and we're just gonna do Royale, Duels, and Standard, I think. Actually, this might help me a little more. Yeah, now I can hear myself better, and I think that'll be good. Okay, yeah, so let's get started. I think what I want to do is actually check out some of the previous Battleground games. Wrapped Royale is what we did for the Winter Championship, and that was a lot of fun. So these games, I enjoyed watching these games. So let's take a look at these maybe for Irene. I was hoping to see a history of games here. I can always just go to the history here and do, oh perfect, they're even Wrapped Royale. Look at that. Do I know if these ones are wins or losses? Not from here. Okay, so we're just gonna have to watch a few and see if they see what happens. Would be nice to look at just some losses, but we'll just watch some games. So Irene's doing okay. Nothing super exciting going on at the moment. Oh, took out one snake. That's not bad. Oh, okay, and just starved out in the corner. But this one, yeah, that one's definitely contested with all the snakes there, and I'm shorter, so that makes sense to me. And then yeah, just not having a lot of food. Okay, that one I'm not offended by. We're just gonna hop through some games and see if we see any that look like there might be a bug. And then we'll see where we're at. The game was pretty okay though, at least the end of it. Irene is supposed to be, well actually let's check some things out really quick. Let's check out Irene's code, because I was about to say something and then realized that I'm not positive about it. So two things. One, we do have a fixture and a test that we need to commit, so we'll probably come back to that and make sure what's going on, because I left it in an uncommitted state last time. But the other thing I wanted to check was the scoring that we're using for Irene here. And I think I know the answer, and that it's using a score function derived from Hobbs that does some area control stuff. But I can't remember, so I was gonna try to find where that might be. Spread from head, arcade, maze, flood fill. Yeah, so that looks like it might be what I'm looking for. You get a score by calling simulate. Yeah, and then we do score on self because this is implemented for where node is a scorable. Okay. Yeah, so, but where's the actual, is this the actual implement scorable? Yeah, okay. So this is the actual score, which is basically just taken from Hobbs. Oh, I am working on Hobbs. But I think so Hobbs is a min-max snake, paranoid min-max, and so I wanted to try a new algorithm, Monte Carlo tree search, and that seemed like enough to get a new name. I'm thinking what I really want to do is shove the two of them together and create a snake that uses both the Monte Carlo tree search and the min-max under the hood, but I got to get the Monte Carlo tree search working reasonably before we do that. So there'll probably be a snake following Irene, and actually following jump flooding. I have another, I'm not sure if that's going to be in the alphabet, but probably have another one that combines the innards of both Hobbs and Irene together to create a mega snake. So the paranoid min-max, I think is really good at finding out for certain that something is a win or a loss, but what it struggles with is it doesn't ever take risks. It thinks everyone is out to get me, and there's sometimes when that can be a disadvantage, where it'll see that the game is over, or like if my opponent moves the way that I think they're going to, the game's over, but there's a chance that a food could spawn and change the game or something like that my min-max has trouble seeing. And the Monte Carlo with the random rollouts, in theory, I think, should be able to see some scenarios better. So what I'm thinking is, like, if the min-max says it's going to be a loss, maybe I listen to the Monte Carlo more, because it shouldn't matter which move I pick if it's a loss according to min-max, so might as well take the one Monte Carlo thinks might have a way out, and stuff like that. Hey, Chill Fox, how is it going? Thanks for joining. I like that you are a first-time chatter here, but already are subscribed with the Prime sub, so thank you for that. And hey, Lewis Acura, how's it going? Thanks for joining, everyone. We are just taking a look at Improbable Irene, my Monte Carlo tree search snake. And I was just reminding myself what the score function at the end of this was. So Monte Carlo doesn't really need a score function if you evaluate all the way to end states, but I'm not evaluating all the way to end states, so I do need some kind of scoring function. And I was reminding myself what that was, and it's basically just stolen from the area control that I use for hovering hops. So if the game's over, we do 1, -1, and then a -0.2 for ties. Negative 0.25 for ties. I feel like I didn't say that right. But then if the game's not over, we do an area control with like how many squares each snake can get to give us a percentage of space that we control over total space on the board. Okay, so now that I remember what's going on, we can go back to reviewing this game. I just paused it because I wanted to actually remember what I was expecting Irene to be doing. So slightly area control-y. But at the moment, I'm really just looking for obviously silly things. And right now, the last few games, we've seen a lot of just running out of food with hazards, which might mean that I need to be more aggressive about eating, or maybe avoiding the hazards, because this was a long hazard dive for really no reason there. So that's interesting, but it's not a specific bug to look into. All the Battlesnake related streams in the middle of the night here, so I usually watch recordings, but I can't sleep, so here I am. Oh yes, I forget about time zones. I'm sorry about that. But glad you are here. Well, I guess I'm not glad you're here if you can't sleep, but glad you can hang out live for a bit, and glad you like the recordings. That's always fun to hear. Okay, so this game wasn't an amazing game, but I didn't see anything obviously wrong. Let's load up a couple more. But I think the other thing we can do is we have this fixture that I already have uncommitted, and we should at least see what's going on there. I think the slight problem there is I Don't know if there's a good way for me to visualize that fixture, but we will experiment with that. Oh, actually, no, I think I know. Ooh, this might be a win for Irene, which would be fun. Got the whole board. The center. Oh, there we go. Nice. Nice job, Irene. Yeah, Irene's not doing awful, but definitely not. Oh, another fun thing we could do is put Irene versus Hobbs in a sec, just to see what that pairing looks like. I am currently doing Advent of Code. Not even joking. I'm doing a video series of Advent of Code if you check out my YouTube, which maybe I can make happen in this Discord thing over here. But no promises about this. But I am currently, I think I've done day 13. And 14 will be next. Apparently my Discord short links thingy isn't working. But it's Corey J.A. It's not hard to find. But I've done day 1 through 13. 14 will be my next. I am going to try to keep doing them through January, but I did not stay on top of getting them all done in time. But I think I'm going to I would like to continue and finish them out in January or something like that. Though I am worried. I hear 16 is a doozy, and I'm getting close to it. So I'm a little worried. Has anyone else done Advent of Code in chat? I enjoy it. Similar to Battlesnake in some ways. Some of the problems definitely felt related. What happens here? Jaguar just kind of... Was there a timeout involved? No, not really. I was going for food. Just couldn't get there. I'm actually not really sure though. I'm not sure why. I wouldn't have done that if I was Jaguar. Could have just hung out up here a bit more, but not a fun one for me to debug. Okay, so Irene's doing pretty decent in some of these games. I think next we'll run one with Hobbs and see if we can force some weirder behavior out of Irene. Though Hobbs isn't the most aggressive snake either if we're trying to do that. Should probably try to make a more aggressive snake sometime to at least have as a sparring companion. That would be interesting. I haven't done Advent of Code every day. Oh, nice. Not even joking. That's impressive. Especially, getting up at 5:30 and everything to do them as well. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's interesting that 19 is 16 with extra steps. Is it 16 with extra steps enough that you actually used your day 16 code or solution in day 19? That's pretty interesting. I like that. That's impressive about making it on the global leaderboard. I was trying to do them at midnight, and I got lucky. It's midnight in my time zone, I believe, when they come out. A few years ago, and I would get them, and I was doing them in Ruby too, which was definitely faster than my Rust solutions. And even when I solved them, what I thought was relatively quickly, I was nowhere close to the global leaderboards. Those people and you are fast. Irene does come out on top here. This one was actually pretty good for Irene. Oh well, that hazard helps, but Irene definitely does box avoiding death into the hazard there at the very end, which is nice to see. Okay, so let's do something different. Let's create a game with Irene and Hobbs. Let's just see what this does. We're gonna do a wrapped one. And we'll do Royale because that's what we were watching. That was fun. And we'll let that run, but we won't play it yet. Couldn't compare my day 16 and 19 since I optimized for day 16 a lot by making hash function different search algorithm, but overall same idea. Yeah, that's fair. Less sharing the same code and more just sharing the idea. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm excited for day 16, but also just a little bit scared at this point. Let's see how this Battlesnake game goes though. I've really enjoyed making the videos. I think what I'm doing for these longer ones, especially for planning for 16 and stuff, is I think I'm not going to try to record them all in one session. Like day 12, for example, was one I had recorded in three little segments, and I think I'm going to do that for some of the longer ones, because it's it's hard to do them all in one sitting. It gets long, and then I also just get drained trying to solve these problems all in one sitting sometimes for these more complicated ones. Or 12 was really just I couldn't find a bug and was hunting for a bug, but still, same idea. No, I haven't read the... I'm not reading ahead. I could, but I just haven't. So I haven't read ahead for what the problem is for 16. I just have heard from people that it was tricky, and then, you know, from toots and tweets and things like that, I've heard that other people who are doing blogs and stuff for it took a long time on 16. So I know it's one people have taken a long time on, but I haven't read the problem yet. I've just been reading them as I get started on them. Okay, there's the end of that one, which doesn't give me a whole lot of time to think about them beforehand, but that's kind of the fun about making the videos. But when I do the different sessions, I definitely have time in the middle to think through what I might want to try. But I'm just talking now. Okay, so what is going on in Battlesnake? So this actually lasted a lot longer than I thought. We made it to almost turn 200 here. I wish I could put 2 snakes in the battlegrounds, because I would love to see them compared to each other. Battlesnake feature request to send into the ether of my stream. I want to be able to put multiple snakes in a battleground just so I can compare them to each other relatively easily. Like, I'm pretty sure that Hobbs is still fairly dominant over Irene, but I would like to see it in the battlegrounds against other snakes and stuff. Okay, so these games aren't revealing anything that Irene's doing that's just obviously wrong, though. We'll watch this one and see how it goes. The hardest problem, in my opinion, was day 22, part 2. That day, I didn't manage to do the puzzle in at most an hour, finished writing the code at school. Wow. I'm just impressed that you've like, you know, that an hour is your cutoff. You're like the longest one. That's impressive as well. But another one to be on the lookout for. Day 22. I think last year I made it to about day 15 or 16, and that had been the farthest. I've always lost steam midway or really before midway through, so I'm hoping making the videos and stuff will give me a motivation to keep and maybe actually finish all the puzzles this year for Advent of Code. Obviously not in December, but that's okay. Giving myself a break on that one. Irene's doing pretty okay, staying away from Hobbs, getting some food there. Really doesn't mind the hazards though, which I think is gonna come back to bite her, but at the moment is okay. If you ignore 22 and 16 in 50 minutes, that's impressive. What are you solving him in? Like, what language or environment or whatever? Just curious. That's awesome though. Uh-oh, Irene. Oh, you did have some food. Okay. Okay, so Irene's actually staying right around the same size as Hobbs. They're actually doing much better. Like, Irene's much better class. There we go. There is the elimination though. But that was a lot. Like, these games are going a lot longer and better than I expected. Yeah, Irene doesn't want to ignore that food. That one's unfortunate. But it does... but ignoring the food means you can get back. No, you could wrap around. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So there's some interesting ones here, but I'm not sure if there's anything that's like super easy to debug. I think in a sec we'll switch to the fixture that I have locally and see what that looks like. But Kotlin, nothing more than an input fetch script and some basic utils I wrote during the event. Oh, awesome. That's pretty, yeah, that's really fun. I haven't played with Kotlin. I know people like it a lot, and stuff, but I haven't really played with it a ton. It would be a fun one to try. Could use an A/B test reverse proxy thing for running 2 snakes under the name of one in Battlegrounds. Ooh, yeah, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that, right? I could even just like, because I have my server hosts all of my snakes just at paths, right? So I guess I could even just make a path that picks between the 2 random, or every other game, or whatever, picks a game randomly, whatever strategy. That would be interesting. The only thing is then I would have to like probably keep stats myself a bit on who won and who lost, which again isn't crazy. Just because I wouldn't be able to use like the ranking of the snake in the battleground as that. But I like that idea. That's a fun one. You're working on the WebSockets reverse proxy for like browser-based battlesnaking, right, Chillfox? That sounds fun. Sounds like you had a basic part of that working recently in Discord. Okay, so let's go and check out what I have over here for, there's a fixture here that I just want to see what's going on with it. Oh, it's passing. Okay, cool. I like it. Maybe we fixed the bug, and, oh, is this one of these ones where or does it sometimes pass? I guess let's try it a few more times to figure out. But it feels weird that I wouldn't have committed it if it's just passing. Or did it always pass for me, but it failed in real life? That's probably what happened. Okay, so let's just commit this fixture, and then maybe let's actually go in and try to add some more statistics and debugging. And see where we go, because we'll check out some Honeycomb, see what the stats look like. Oops, sorry about knocking my desk there. And try to add some new stats. Get deployment sorted. Ah, yes, that's always a fun step in projects. But no, that's awesome. I love the idea of like, you know, just doing a little proxy over WebSockets. I've really liked WebSockets for a lot of things recently, so that's a really fun one to play with. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, add fixture file. Started the stream and this fixture was here. Forgot what it was for, but committing anyways. Ah, not one password. Am I committing to main? Sure, let's commit to main. Okay. Awesome. And then let's go and see what kind of stats we are getting right now in Honeycomb. So Honeycomb is what I'm doing for my tracing and like kind of logging style provider, so we can see. Let's see what we can see. I don't really remember what. Ooh, fun noises, but I don't remember what happened just by the noise, and my bot in chat isn't telling me. But cool things happened. Maybe. Oh, I got some follows. Woohoo! Thank you, Harley Smith, for the follow. Appreciate it. There we go. I just needed to look at the right window on my iPad over there. Too many little screens. Okay. So this is Honeycomb. We're gonna look at my snakes. And I think I have a Battlesnake DigitalOcean. It's in a new environment that we've been using. Okay, cool. And we can look at this Monte Carlo tree search root function. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just look at that trace. Let's see what came with it. Okay, so this is from Irene. It's our Monte Carlo tree search snake, or it is the snake, but this is the trace for the Monte Carlo tree search. And let's see what we got here. We know the game ID, this 2E5CCC is probably this one, 2E5CCC. Awesome. And then it probably has a turn on it, I'm hoping. Some of these I don't set, they come from open, like the tracing package, but that's okay. Total score, total number of iterations, those ones definitely come from things that I send, but is there a turn on here? Oh, there's not. Well, we should probably send the turn so that I know what turn in the game we're talking about. And right now I'm sending things like total score, total number of iterations, and things like that. Okay, so let's figure out like where I'm sending this total number of iterations in code. Wow, that's way too many things. I forgot about that. Oh, okay. So here we're instrumenting. Oh, okay, so this is just an auto instrument on these fields. Okay, that makes sense. Forgot about that. Oh, skip all fields. Oh, and then we add these fields. Okay, so they're not autoing, but we're doing it manually. Okay, so do I have a turn ID somewhere? Like, I'm gonna have to add it up top first, but I could also, turn, like, does game info have a turn? Self.turn. Is that gonna work? No. I think the problem is I don't have a turn. One question, why this font? Well, I really like this font. It's Victor Mono, I believe is the name of the font. I like it a lot. It has some things that are in cursive. I actually don't know why these are in cursive. I felt like usually it was only the comments that were cursive. But most of my things are in cursive right now. Which I feel like is a little bit new. They didn't used to all be cursive. Used to just be that like some identifiers and comments were cursive. But anyways, in general, I really like it. And then the color scheme is, which isn't exactly what you asked, I know, but it's similar, is Capuchin for VS Code, which is a favorite of Backward Spy, who, oh, speaking of Backward Spy, he comes into the chat. Hey, how's it going? Was just answering questions about the font, and that made me bring up the theme, Capuchin for VS Code. So I like Victor Mono. It now that I'm looking at it, I don't love that like everything is this italics cursive. Like not everything needs to be. I liked it better when mostly just comments were. But you know, I'll survive with this for right now. But I need to get the turn in here. I think the problem is that I just don't think my board has that information. Because I have nested game, but I don't think this is where turn is. Turn is like above that when you get the JSON request, I believe. Where am I? I'm in the mod for wire representation. Yep. Here's the board, nested game, settings, game. Yeah, game just has a turn, and then, okay, so that just means that in Irene, I think I just want to create a U size for the turn. And we're just gonna carry it all the way through. You were summoned backwards by that timing couldn't have been better. Create from wire game, let turn equals game dot turn, except that's not i32, so I think what I'll just do is change this to everything be expecting a u32. I think I said I, but I think I meant u. Okay, and then this just needs a turn and a turn. Okay, so oh, you're subbed again, Backward Spy. Thank you for that. Do appreciate it a lot. And thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's good to have people in chat. Hope you're having a good Sunday morning for New Year's, or I know not Sunday morning for, actually probably most of you it seems like, but that's okay. It's a nice Sunday morning for me. Okay, so now we're getting turn reporting here. Oh, except not quite. One thing that I don't love about tracing, and it's hard for me to say that because I really like tracing, is you don't have, when you add a field to be instrumented here, you record it by doing this later on. And the thing that's just a slightly unfortunate is that if I do this record without saying the field's going to exist up top, it's going to just get silently dropped, I believe. So slightly unfortunate that you have to do it in two different places that don't like just connect. Okay. So now we get turn here, and what else do we want? Like total number of iterations, total score, average score. That's like only mildly helpful. Does something like sit above this and decide what move to make? Because like I want to just return the move as well. Okay, so here is, so I might want to wrap this in a trace here for just tracing all of Irene, and we can send some move data from there. That doesn't sound crazy. Rust tracing docs. I just need to know the syntax here. I don't want that style span. I want the I don't want the enter and exit. I want the wrap it in a thing style. Not that one. In scope, that's what I want. Info span or something in scope. Okay, so I want to do all of this in scope, I think. So something like what kind of span do I want? An info span? I think an info span sounds right. We're gonna call this improbable Irene make move. That works for me. In scope, and then we just put everything here in this closure. And there we go. Now everything gets traced there. Backwards by coincidentally, I have the exact same situation with the different tracing library we use at work. I've often wondered why it can't just automatically declare each metric when it's sent, or else raise an error if you try to do it. Either option would be better than silently ignoring it. Yeah, right. It does seem a little strange. And I know this is like something that people have like invested a lot of time in. So I do, I bet there's a reason that, a reasonable one for it. But it is definitely annoying. And especially like, I feel like one good reason that is probably for like efficiency. I know that the tracing library specifically is, cares about efficiency a lot and doesn't want to get in the way, but maybe doing something in debug mode for while I'm developing would be better, can take more time in raise or something, or not raise, but panic. I don't know. I agree with you though. Anything would be better than just ignoring my traces altogether. Okay, so now I should at least get the make move, and here I want to do I want to get the best child score, and I want to get the chosen move, and I want to record those. And then, but in scope here, so then I think if I use in scope, I need to do something like the current, like, because I don't get here the span to attach to, so I think I need to do like the get the current span thingy, which I thought I would just be able to see an example of really quickly, but I actually think I'm doing it because it was in the Monte Carlo tree search function. We must have been doing it. You didn't, yeah, current span, nice. Okay, so then when we're in the span here, oh, nope. Let current span, yeah, that. Copilot just did it for me. Yeah, that is interesting, backwards by. What tracing system are you using that you've had this problem with? Just curious, wondering. Yeah, it's interesting that they both do have the same problem. Or I guess maybe it's not super duper interesting, because if one solved it, the other might have been able to taken some inspiration, but definitely kind of interesting. Okay, so then the other thing I need to remember how to do is how do I attach fields to these when I use the macros. So like if I do any of these spans, top level documentation, yeah, span macro. Oh, okay, that wasn't very helpful. Things wait. So, but I think it's things first and then the name at the end. So like, I can do like chosen move. And then here's the other thing that I don't remember. There's like a tracing span empty or something. Yeah, recording fields. So we can do it like this. Isn't there a way to, oh, and you do it after the name of the thing. Empty. Field empty. Tracing field empty. Okay, I don't know if I did this in the right order. We use Prometheus for some of our metrics, and the Python library at least has that issue. Oh yeah, That's interesting. Yeah. Um, yeah, and I'm used to different libraries. For Ruby, we use Datadog at work, which is pretty similar to the OpenTelemetry library, but Datadog has their own one that we use. And that one doesn't have the problem. It just like, I just, set a record wherever in code and it just works, that's my favorite. It's nice. But, if I have to set it in two places, I totally agree though. I want it to blow up if I do it wrong. Okay, but now I think I got this. So now I think I can do current span dot record, and I record the chosen move because that's what I named it. I think I did it with the underscores, and then this is chosen move. Awesome. And then best child. So like maybe I want a best child score or something. I'm not sure if this is actually different than what we got one level down, but it'll be interesting to find out. Best child score. Best child. Average score? Yeah, highest average score. Best child average score. Because I will forget in like 20 minutes, not even before the stream ends, which score this is, so it's good to be explicit. Okay, awesome. So I think that will work if it's gonna compile for me. Cargo build. Yep, looking good. Apparently had to recompile some dependencies, but that's okay. Oh, okay. Where are you mad at? Chosen move. It doesn't like. Oh, it doesn't. Can't convert an I-32. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Was I wrong? It actually is an I-32? Okay, that's interesting. Let's deal with that first, I guess. I'm slightly new to VS Code from being in Vim for a long time, and I forget about this problems tab all the time, and it's pretty nice. Well, this isn't what I actually cared about, though. These weren't the real problems. These were tests not providing a turn number, which, like, they should do, but it's fine if I just pretend it's 0. So that, like, didn't actually show me the problems in any way. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, so... Well, that's that one. I wanted to fix this one first. 62. A turn here. Yeah, so what are you, turn? You are an I-32. Wow, okay. Why are you an I-32? I guess just because from the JSON it could be negative. Oh, because we can't guarantee it's not a negative number from the JSON, I guess, and that's where this is coming from. That's fine. Just forgot that that was going to be an issue. 259. A chosen move. Yeah, okay. Chosen move. I need this. Chosen. Let chosen move equal this. We're going to take the string of it. Woo. Do I need a reference there? Is the macro gonna do it? Is it just... Couldn't find field. Oh, it's probably just because I can't spell. Oh man, I thought it was gonna... I think it's because it's in the macro again. Oh, it's actually down there is where I did it, because I did it. I spelled field wrong, I believe. There we go. It being in the macro and not working with my Rust analyzer is relatively annoying. And Rust analyzer doesn't have an update thing right now. It's chilling. Okay, yeah, no, it's not. Expected at string but found empty. Yeah, that's not the right syntax for this. That's what I thought. Format argument must be a string literal. Okay, well that's not what I'm trying to do. Yeah, this is the thing that I always get tripped up by. Oh. And I think that might be part of it. Can't find chosen move in this scope. Wait a second. Do I only need the field's empty thing if I'm doing it that way? That wouldn't really make sense to me, but maybe. Where did I go? Okay, here I am. I don't think that's right. But it probably will at least build now. Cool. Okay, so I think this is just going to drop the traces on the ground, but it's at least going to compile. So, one step at a time here. Oh, okay, well, we're not going to compile yet, but I think we're getting closer. WebAxum main line 211 game.turn let turn equal game.turn. Did it even work before it like hopped me around? No. And then this is turn. There we go. Man, got something in my nose real itchy. Okay, awesome. We're compiling now. How do you work? You take in a target, a parent, a name, and then fields. So name, and then fields. I think it's supposed to be that. I think they go at the end. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, so we have an info span. It's going to have a chosen move and a best child average score. And they get set there. Okay. Did I do both of these spans in one commit? Close that repository, close that repository. Yeah, we added some more tracing. We added turn. Okay, yep. Improve Irene tracing. Add a turn and some info about the move we chose. Things like that. That'll be good. I think one of the hardest things for me for this Monte Carlo is that it's harder for me to reason about. With the min-max snake, like there was an answer that was like more provably right for a certain depth, where min-max, or not min-max, with Monte Carlo, it's like just so randomness based that it's harder for me to reason about how to like find bugs and stuff, which is making it just a little harder for me to know what to do next. But adding tracing is always a good step. We can see how it's performing, see what, like how many turns it's getting through, things like that, and go from there. I don't think this should have any problems building, but it is going to take a few minutes. So we will let that deploy. Yeah, and let's see, what do we want to look at? Okay, so let's just look at Irene. We don't have any specific... Do we have any ignored tests? Yeah, we do. They're just not... We have one ignored test. Okay, let's run this a few times. Let's see what's going on here. Down is not in the allowed. My move down is not up. Yep, so looking at this, hopefully, wait, is CI actually failing? Oh, it is. We're failing Clippy. Okay, cool. There's some new Clippies. Well, I might need to upgrade my Rust to get some new Clippies. That would be fun, though. Okay, we'll look at this fixture again in a second. Oops, wrong project. We will talk about that in a few minutes, though. That'll be fun. Did I close this? Didn't mean to. Now I've got Vim in VS Code. Too many editors. Okay. Rust up, update. Give me new rusts. Sometimes I like, well, I always like, but it's sometimes annoying when my CI gives me the newest version of Rust and gets new clippies that I don't have locally. I always like it because I like things being, you know, more clippied than less clippied, but just unfortunate to fail in CI. And to recompile everything. It's okay though. We can compile this pretty quickly. What are other people working on for Battlesnake? Anything interesting? Anything, or taking some breaks after the fall? Or the winter, I mean. I know I was, not going I'm not moving the fastest on Battlesnake after the winter and stuff here. Not in a bad reason, just taking a little bit of break. No reason to be rushed. I think I'm just removing a lot of into iter calls here, which I like. Whoa. Useless conversion to the same type, yep. Cool. Called into iter a lot on iters. The borrowed expression implements the required traits. Needless borrow, yeah. Cool. More problems. Where are we? We're in a benchmark. 0. 0. Oh, so my benches were also gonna fail in CI, but not locally. But that I fixed this time. Oh, nice. I like that this problems list told me about that up front. That's a very nice feature. Oh hey, I actually started my own snake, but I haven't had the time to work on it right now. Might end up writing one as a college project though with a team. Oh, that's really fun. That's awesome. What have you just started? Did you doing any of the like relatively popular algorithms, or just starting out and just seeing where it takes you? I kind of like those more just like algorithmy, not following a specific algorithm, just trying it out as a first snake. Those I think that's a fun way to get started. But also really fun to do it as a college project with a team. That would be really cool. Okay, cool. We got all the clippies. Let's push this up. Fixed all the new clippies. Clippies. I don't know how to pluralize clippies. We're gonna do it like that. I don't think that's correct. That reach for my YubiKey is not quite as awkward when I'm not streaming with the big mic. But with the big mic, it makes that reach just a little awkward. Sort of just prodding with a stick and seeing what works. I got as far as getting it chasing food, but then I had Christmas and New Year's in the way, so I had a framework for doing more fun stuff. Oh, that's really awesome. Yeah, I think, you know, getting to a point where it can chase food and stuff is exactly like you said, right? A good framework to start doing some fun things. Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, makes sense to take a break over Christmas and New Year's. That is why I did not make it through Advent of Code. I decided to take some breaks, and we'll be continuing on them here soon. But always good to have some time and relax. Okay, we got committed. CI should be a little happier with me. Everything was mad here. Yeah, it's because I didn't fix my benches. Everything should be happier here. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we were looking at something different, but then we got distracted again by the fact that CI was blowing us up. But I absolutely forgot what I said I was gonna look at before we got distracted by CI. Any ideas? Nope, I got nothing. It's even more fun because it's my first proper usage of Rust for writing stuff besides Advent of Code, so I'm using it to teach myself proper Rust. Oh, that's awesome. As you can see, I love Rust, and I love using like Battlesnake as a way to learn. I learned a lot of my Rust from doing Battlesnake and stuff, so I fully endorse Battlesnake as a way to learn Rust. I think it's great. And excited to see where that ends up for you. Yeah, I really like Rust for Battlesnake and for learning. I think that's one of the things I really love about Battlesnake is just all the learning opportunities and how it lets you like kind of learn in almost whatever direction you want, because it's so open-ended, unlike other programming gamey things that are like more specific to one language or one thing. I love that in Battlesnake you can do a little bit more of whatever you want. Tournaments one day, yeah. Go enter in some battlegrounds sometime here soon. See how it goes. It's always fun. Maybe we'll see you at the Winter Championship Invitational in 2023. You got almost a whole year. Okay, what do we have going on here? How's stuff going? We are, oh, probably about ready to deploy. Yep, we are spinning up the box for deploy. Awesome. Okay, so then we can send some requests at it and hopefully see our new traces over in Honeycomb. That would be ideal. Do 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 do. Oh, you know, if you're feeling like it, not even joking. He. Never want to pressure people into doing Battlesnake, but I've stuck with it for a while. I obviously enjoy it. But you know, never. I think things like Battlesnake are great when you want to do them, but are much less fun when you are pressured into it. Me and Lewis and chat are taking the opposite approach, but that's okay. But no, Battlesnake, great. You should definitely get back in. Anything specific, not even joking, that you would get back in, you know, that you would work on next for Battlesnake, or just in general haven't been doing it in a bit? Let's just rematch this one here and we'll just see what we see in Tracing Land. Let's copy this game ID. New query, where game ID equals this. And let's group them by the like name or something, right? I think these have a name. Yeah, group by the name. I don't know why I stopped working on it. I should honestly just make a new snake from scratch and have some fun. Yeah, that's definitely the best way to do it. Is just to do it to have some fun, try out a new, you know, language, new algorithm, new something. I think you might have asked at the beginning why I wasn't working on Hobbs anymore, and that's kind of the reason to try a new algorithm, right? Wanted to try Monte Carlo tree search and just have fun with it. Started, you know, not from scratch, but you know, trying a whole new paradigm-y algorithm was moderately from scratch, and you know, it's fun to do it that way. Okay, so we have some stuff for sure. Let's look. Actually, we don't have any of those Irene ones actually. We just have the Monte Carlo tree search and deepen min-max. So what was Monte Carlo tree search like log leveling at? Info. Yeah, so if this is at the info level, it feels like it should have also... Oh, it doesn't have a game ID in it, I bet. Okay, but so let's look at a specific trace. Well, okay, where the name is Monte Carlo tree search, because that's what I want. I want to look at a specific trace. Any of them will do. There we go. Okay, so we do have improbable Irene make move with this just underneath it. And then the make move here will tell us things like the move. There we go, right. And then this, though, will tell us things like the turn. Yep. And the game ID. Okay, so like on turn 36. On 36, I go right. Yep. And then what else can we learn about that turn? That's the way. I like that quote. That's the way. Code until it's spaghetti, then walk away and start over. That's perfect. I love that. The great Battlesnake style code motto. Okay, so turn 36, what else? Oh, total score. Yeah, so we have a total score. Like I don't even know, like an average score. And then we have the best child average, which is basically the same, but not the same number. The average score versus the best child average. See, I don't even know what these numbers are telling me, and I don't really know what the total score is. Oh, this is visited. Yeah, because then I have like a visited count. Like these are like actually very specific to Monte Carlo. Total score. Do I not have that? What am I? Total number of iterations. Yeah. There we go. Total number of iterations. Okay, so lots of iterations. Let's try graphing by total number of iterations. That sounds interesting. We're kind of just exploring the data right now. I don't really, like, I'm not count distinct. No. I see. It thinks this is a string. There's a way to tell it. Go to dataset. Go to overview. Nope. Go to definitions. Metrics markers. Go to one of these. I don't want to derive unique fields. There we go. Okay. Iterations. You're not that. You're an integer. Cool. Total. The average total number of iterations. Whatever. Just go. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Why did no total number of iterations there shoot up to 1 million? What's going on here where I hit 1 million? Click data point to see traces. I'm trying. Cool. You're telling me that you made 1 million? Wow. Okay. What? Wait, turn 33 of this game? Turn 33. There is nothing exciting about this turn. Why did turn 33 do an absurd number of iterations? Like, is that turn wrong? Because it feels like that turn is wrong. Turn 33. Yeah, the turn just goes up. But also, like, why don't I have... This is a different game. This has got to be a different game. What game is this? Oh! This Battleground Duels that just happened. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I did want to experiment with doing some deep learning for a snake, although the training is going to take forever, but it'd be a fun experiment. Yeah, deep learning is something I've never done anything of, so it would be fun to try out. But yeah, definitely the training seems like it would take... I just don't know anything about it too, so training seems like it would take a while, and just definitely something very new to me, which not bad at all, like you said, definitely a fun experiment. But I haven't done that one yet. And just needs like a lot of data too, which again, not a problem necessarily, but just so different than what I'm used to. Okay, so here though, we ran 1 million simulations. I don't know where turn 34 went here. But turn equals 34. No, there is one here. It just wasn't quite as high. It was just under 1 million, or just over 1 million. Okay. Okay, so it wasn't the game I'm watching. That's why turn 34 looked so boring. Yeah, it does have the CLI. Someone in the Discord chat was doing basically exactly that, using the CLI implementation to run things faster. One of the hurdles that people were talking about in the Discord, which is definitely overcomable, is that the open source rules is in Go. and you can re-implement it, but then there's always subtle bugs or drift because they'll add new rules and change things and they won't be up to date. So there was chat of what's the best way to call that from Python, since that's where it seems like the machine learning stuff really is in the Python ecosystem. I know one person was compiling to WASM at one point and then running that. I think they're doing different things now. I think they're using the CLI directly from Python at the moment. But yeah, definitely interesting things to try there. Okay, cool. Well, things are working. This duels game went great. Love to see it. Yeah. I suppose you can get away with it with doing complete self-learning and having the AI pick up rules by itself, although that makes it even more difficult to learn, but move the direct dependency on the rule set. Complete self-learning and having it pick up rules by itself. Well, but I think the thing is you would need, unless you're just going to let them run in Battlegrounds, you need something to actually run the games, right? And like actually calculate the board and like do all of that stuff. And you could write that in like your language of choice, right? But using the rules to do that means you don't have to re-implement it. Because I don't think you can get away from having to like evaluate the game states probably in self-learning. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, as long as we're on the same page. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something, because like I said, definitely not my area of expertise at all. So one thing that we could do for Irene that wouldn't help a lot. Oh, whoa. Why'd we get a 500 timeout? See you in a bit, backwards spy. Have a good dinner. I don't know. Oh, that's another thing I could add. Maybe we'll add some like error reporting for like panics and stuff. That would be a fun thing to add. Because I don't have that now, and I really should. Oh wow, yeah, especially if Irene died at the end here from a 500. Okay, well first of all, let's see. Do I have turn 107 in my reporting here at all? I guess I need the game ID too, because I just don't know what we're looking at right there. Yep, we do have that trace. Oh, not for Monte Carlo tree search though. Do we have ones for that game? That's not that one? Yep, okay, awesome. Okay, so I think we're gonna add some error reporting. Yeah, I think that seems like a thing to do. Let's do it. Yep, okay, yeah, because we got turns and then we did that. We just didn't get 107. 106 is probably going to be my last one here, I imagine. Awesome. Okay, well actually I could just do this. I could cheat and have this tell me the max turn. Max turn. And by cheat I just mean use the tool. And the max is 106. Yep, okay. Awesome. Okay, let's get some error reporting. I think I want to use Sentry for this because it's the one I'm used to. But chat, anyone have a favorite error reporting tool that I should try? If not, I'll probably just go with Sentry. Yeah, because I think that's what we want to do, and I don't think Honeycomb is really the best place for it. They don't have like panicky. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna do Sentry. Let's see what the Rust Sentry integration. No, not what I want at all. Yeah, Rust self-hosted Sentry. I love being a Sentry employee. I use Sentry for errors and crash reporting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that. That's a consensus at some point. Are you a Sentry employee because of the self-hosted? Is that what you're getting at, Lewis? I like that. Or do you actually work at Sentry? Because that would be cool too. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use this from a thing. Wait, what's the release name? Oh, it's a macro. Okay, that's fine, but I'm just trying to read what's going on here. Yeah, everything. Okay, yep. It flags you as an employee everywhere, which I find entertaining. Oh, that's really funny. Because it's the, oh, I guess that makes sense, right? Because it's the self hosted. You're like, okay, that's fair. That is really funny though. I like that. I am not gonna go the self-hosting route at the moment. I like the idea for sure, but I don't want, I don't want that. So we're gonna log in. And I have used Sentry before, but I don't think that I've done it for Battlesnake. Nope. All of these are very old projects. And let's just get started. Okay, nope, we're not in popular land. Rust. I'll create my own alerts later. Sure. Oh, this is not, it's not just called Rust though, it's called Battlesnake. I maintained an on-prem hosted Sentry and GitLab instance at my previous job. One of my friends was ready to run an error reporting system, although I think they abandoned it and are moving. Yeah, I've maintained an open host, an on-prem Sentry before, and we actually switched to a hosted Sentry. We were using on-prem for security reasons and, you know, things like that, but we did switch to the cloud one eventually, and it's just it's nice not to maintain. I wouldn't have a problem maintaining it if we had the bandwidth, but we're just a tiny team, so didn't have the bandwidth to maintain Sentry instead of, you know, working on the app that was reporting to Sentry. But the cloud's just very nice. Ooh, and a GitLab instance. I've never successfully gotten a GitLab instance working. I've like tried a few times, and I'm not sure because it was complicated or whatever, but I never, or maybe it just never stuck, but I never really got that working amazing with GitLab. Okay, let's just add Sentry. Go to WebAxum, cargo add, I think it was just called Sentry. Yep, and then we just take this little guardy thing and we're just gonna throw it in there, except, oh, I'm leaking my secret to everyone on stream, so I'm gonna have to rotate that in a minute. Ooh, I had a concourse CI, I did a self-hosting CI for a little while, but I don't think it was concourse or it had a different name. I don't remember the evolution, but that's really fun. I really liked a self-hosting CI. But oh, that is a funny bug though, Lewis, about wanting to upgrade on your self-hosted. Oh, Drone, that's the one. Drone is the one that I self-hosted, not concourse. Thank you for sparking my memory there. That was really, I liked hosting CI. I really like CI, and that kind of dev tool space is like really fun and exciting to me, so I really like that. And so I liked self-hosting my own, but eventually just ran out of steam for it, like most self-hosting style things. Let's just capture this like basically immediately. Okay, this is a secret. It needs to get out of here. I think, do I want to say you have to have a Sentry? No, I definitely don't say you have to have a Sentry. But I definitely want the guard to go out of scope at the end, but I can do that. Okay, so, if let okay, Sentry DSN equals standard, make some spaces, standard env, yeah, there we go, var Sentry DSN. And then we're gonna do a sum of this, else do a none. The reason for that is then we can hold on to this guard until the end of main, behind the sum, but I don't think that'll matter. It'll just still get dropped at the end. So yeah. Ooh, thank you for the follow, PS2 Gator 1 off 10F. Man, pronouncing usernames is so hard. Okay. Self-hosted GitHub runners for everything. Oh, I haven't actually tried any of the runner solutions. That's a really, like, that one seems like a really interesting, like, middle ground, right? Where it's actually running on your stuff, but like the UI and all the coordination is hosted. I haven't tried that, but I like that idea. Nice. Some chat about Team City. I also have not tried that one. I'm currently on Circle CI as my favorite CI at the moment. Like, you know, cloud CI. But I like Circle. And it's what I use for, I'm a paid customer even for like my Battlesnake stuff runs on Circle. Okay, so I think that's it. And I guess I think I'm gonna bring all my Battlesnakes down for a minute with like test Sentry because oh, there's also the thing where I need to like fly. I need to like actually add the secret. Okay. I'm gonna go into secrets mode for hopefully only a few minutes. I need to set this environment variable on my DigitalOcean box, and I need to rotate the secret that you all saw on screen. So hang out with me. But you shouldn't be able to see my screen. And if you do, let me know and I'll rotate all my secrets again. But let's make sure that this works. Okay, so I need to get on my DigitalOcean box, talking to myself for the most part, and I need to get a new DSN. How do I get a new DSN? Client keys, DSNs. Disable. Yes. New key. Okay. Take this. And this is what I need to... Okay. Okay, I got off the SSH of the box and I rotated the secret. I think that's all I needed to do. I'm really enjoying the CI chat in chat. I love it. And I think, well, it's not gonna build, right? I think it's gonna be mad at me because of my panic, and everything. YAML. Everyone loves a big old YAML file, right? I was gonna say CI and YAML files feel like they go hand in hand, unfortunately. Can I just put like a allow unreachable code on this thing, and will it just like work? Oh my gosh, it will. I love it. Ooh, Tommel is good. I haven't like seen Tommel in the wild much besides Rust things. Do you guys see Tommel outside of Rust much? Because that's awesome. I guess I should actually just run this locally. Nah. Oh, I'm still in secrets mode. Awesome. Well, then let me try to get some stuff off my clipboard, and then I'll come out of secrets mode. I forgot I was in secrets mode. Sorry, team. Okay. We're back out of secrets mode. Hello, everybody. Okay. So we have our guard clause set up, and I think we're just gonna try committing it. We also have this test panic, so basically we should get sentries immediately once this deploys. Wait, is this gonna test? Oh yeah, because this is just in the main. I don't think I test anything in the main. Minecraft mods use Toml now. Wow, that's really awesome. Oh, Caddy uses Toml. I guess I never like put that to, or am I using Toml for my Caddy files? I don't know. Huh. I have a Caddy file in the box I was just on for my Battlesnake stuff, and I might be using Toml for it. That's really interesting. I like that. I just wouldn't have even noticed that it is Toml. But that's awesome. I do love Caddy. Okay, so sorry, I keep getting distracted. All I want to do is make this commit. Add Sentry integration. Oops. So this is gonna do most of it. This is for panics, which will do a lot of it. Yeah, I wonder if I'm using Caddy with YAML, just because I'm not. It didn't remember that it was using Toml. I should probably switch to using Toml. I'm not using YAML on purpose, but I feel like I might still be using YAML for my Caddy stuff right now, just because that feels familiar. I bet there's some YAML in this repo. Oh, actually, wait. There's no. Isn't my circle CI file in YAML? It's a big old ball of YAML. Oh, only 250. That's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Oh, that's the other thing, Lewis. I've been using Caddy files, and I use their syntax. You're right. That's another reason that I don't use the YAML or the Toml, is because I use Caddy files. That's the real answer. Okay, then we can get rid of this YAML file. Stop giving us all like PTSD. Okay. Oh no, I did it again. I'm gonna have to rotate it again. Should have closed the tab. And that's the problem with streams when I'm doing things like this. Ooh, 2,500 lines without comments. Yeah, the comments are really necessary in those huge YAML files. I feel like plugin things in general can sometimes have a lot of YAML. It's like when you try to shove something in or YAML into a not YAML shaped hole, you can end up with some very, very interesting YAMLs. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is always building. Oh yeah, this is what's supposed to happen here, is it's just supposed to like blow up and go to Sentry, like pretty loudly. Battlesnake anywhere. Yeah, okay, awesome. So let's basically just wait for this to deploy. Yeah, as you can see, Circle CI is my CI platform of choice at the moment. I like it. For the most part, it's basically give Docker image and a YAML script of steps to run. You know, the standard CI thing nowadays, I feel like. And okay, we are authing with Tailscale, so I can talk to my box, talking to my box, and putting on the new executable, which should just panic. Anyway, yeah, the Docker thingy I was gonna do was gonna be Toml all the way down and mostly compose inspired except for build files. I was looking at Starlark for that. Ooh, that's fun. I like just looking at new things and stuff like that. And it didn't send an event, but said it restarted. And is it running? No. No, it is not. Okay. Yeah, that's how most of my projects are, just for my enjoyment. I also hadn't heard of Starlark before, but I'm not super into, like, I just don't know that container organization or orchestration landscape super well. Okay. Let's get back on a box and hope that I don't leak too many secrets here. We'll see. Okay. Status. One password is safe to show because it doesn't leak passwords. Okay. Failed with... Oh, okay. It's trying to connect to... Oh, interesting. Okay, so I need more logs. How do I ask for more logs? Help. Is there a thing that just will ask, like, I think I can just... No. Yeah, but which shared object file are you looking for? Oh, libSSL. Oh, Sentry freaking wants OpenSSL. Okay. I should have known better than to assume I was gonna get away without having OpenSSL installed for something like this. Let's see if they have a feature that'll let me turn off. Yes. There is. I can use RustLS. Haha. Phew. I didn't really want to have to deal with switching or getting OpenSSL installed. That just sounds awful. Version equals that. Default feature. Wow. Features equals false. Features equals. Okay, what are the default features? Backtrace. Okay, so I want like most of these features. Backtrace sounds great. Contexts. Panic. I might want anyhow. This one. I probably want tower because I'm basically doing tower. Axum's basically tower. Do a Bazel config language in Python. Interesting. Super interesting. I support for all my hub variables received by the power service. This allows breadcrumbs collected during the request handling delayed in specific hub and avoiding everything the next request should a new hub be bound to each request. Honestly, didn't understand much of that at all. But I don't think it's gonna be hard to add. Okay, so I can get Sentry to use this. And then add tower, cargo build. All selected versions conflict. Cargo upgrade. I just tell you to upgrade all my packages. Cool. Did that just like upgrade everything? I think it did, but like I'm fine with that as long as things still work. Make sure to enable request 2, by the way, for Rust TLS to work. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's enabled by default, but I still need it because I don't get defaults. Thank you. I definitely was going to miss that and be really annoyed when OpenSSL was still being linked against. Or it just wasn't going to work, either one of those. Oh, I don't want to upgrade anything in Web Lambda. You can stay old. That's fine. Okay. I forget about OpenSSL. I'm trying to avoid linking to it because then it makes it easy to just write my executable in CI and copy it over to my Ubuntu box. But it means I have to go really hard and use RustLS for everything, which I like. I want to use it for sure, but it's not the default for most things still. Okay. I added tower though, so let's actually see. Did tower like Sentry tower? Oh, well, because it's searching there. Of course, it's not going to find it there. Tower Sentry? I think it was... Yeah, no, it was Sentry Tower. Okay, so it's not included, but I can do it. Support, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, default must be completely disabled building. Yep, okay, awesome. That's what I want there. I think I want the tower crate, and I think I'm going to want this too. Probably with it features HTTP. Cool. Usage with tower HTTP. Not actually sure if I need with tower HTTP, but I definitely want this. Import and import. I think probably from that? I don't actually know which request you're talking about. Trait bounds not satisfied. Okay, so I think it's the other request. Nice. I don't really know what this is doing for me, and I don't know... When combining both, we take care, for example, service builder always defines the hub before the HTTP one. Yeah, okay, sure. Oh, that's generic. Okay. Sure it is. I'm not sure if that's the right request then. Yeah, I just can have type inference just do it for me. That's the easy way. Could not compile. Oh, because I don't need an import. Okay. Did I add the HTTP layer? I did. Cool. Add Sentry without OpenSSL. That's a big one. Yeah, I haven't used Tower directly a lot, but I'm using Axum as my web framework, which is built on Tower. So like obviously I am using Tower and I get to benefit from some of the Tower ecosystem, which I guess is like kind of the superpower of Tower, is that like I can just use this trace layer to put things on Honeycomb. That's where these things are coming. That's where the Honeycomb like default HTTP stuff comes from. And then this Sentry layer on top, like it is nice, but I haven't dived into Tower like directly too much. But I like the request response concept, and I think it's pretty powerful. I would like to dig into Tower more specifically too. But yeah, if you're looking for a web framework in Rust, I like Axum a lot, which is built on top of Tower. It's definitely my go-to at the moment. And it's backed by the Tokyo project and the Tokyo, I think, Foundation. I'm not sure, but they've got a lot of. They're doing lots of good work in the async Rust land. How long have these builds been taken? 2 minutes last time. That's not awful. Oh no, that was the builds. Yeah, about 2 minutes for the builds. Oh, Rocket. Yeah, how do you... I have used Rocket before, but I haven't in a while. Is Rocket async yet? Or is it their release candidate or something might be async at the moment? I'm not really sure if I've like ever really needed async for the project that I've used in Rust, but I'm using an async framework now and stuff, so seems like where the HTTP ecosystem is going, for better or worse. I like Rocket. Rocket definitely has more stuff built in than Axum does. I think, you know, you can get bits and goodies like the Tower stuff in Axum and like build stuff together, but Rocket definitely has more stuff just built in for you. I definitely think there's room for things like maybe on top of Axum or something, you know, like I come from a Rails background, so I would love to see something like a Rails framework in Rust. And I think Rocket comes a little closer in the providing all the pieces bits than Axum does. I think I like Axum's pieces a little bit better, but that's separate. But I definitely think there's room for a different framework or a bigger framework in Rust, but we'll get there. New Rocket is pretty neat. I do believe it has async stuff now. 0.5. Yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was something like, yeah, the 0.5 makes sense that's the one that's gonna that does have that. Is that out yet? Release candidate. Or wait. Yeah, release candidate. Okay, so close. So close. Do you get much value out of a web framework for Battlesnake, or is it more for the fun of it? For the fun of it. I'm not using much of the actual web framework here for Battlesnake. Well, I guess it's a little more than that, right? Like, I think if I didn't want to use, like, if I was just going to use Rust standard library, I think that's a lot, right? Because I don't think there's like an HTTP server in the Rust standard library. Is there one in Crystal? I would kind of imagine. Because if you built that from scratch, then more power to you. But that definitely feels like a bit of work. I think that would be more similar to doing like Hyper would be more like the standard lib HTTP server, which Axum is built on top of, so layers on layers. I don't get a lot out of it. I wanted to get familiar with Axum, so that's the main reason I did it. But no, I'm not doing anything fancy in the framework land there. I think the most interesting thing that I'm doing is like, and this is something that Axum provides, is like I have one state struct that I pass around and like that all of my snakes can have access to, but wouldn't be impossible to do otherwise or anything. Yeah, like, and the routing is like, yeah, exactly. I'm not getting much out of routing here, right? At the moment, I just, I guess I do have a little bit here where like I do have some of them are like routing with a name that we pull out and handle inside the route. So like I am doing a little bit of that would be stuff that, you know, is coming from the framework per se. But, you know, Hobbs at the moment is just using hand-coded routes, which are, you know, not using a ton from the framework. Yeah, I agree with that, Lewis, that I do see lots of people just trying new things in Battlesnake, which I agree is just awesome. Okay, ooh, did we have errors? Did things break yet? No. No. Just failed with no information. Oh, there we go. Wait, it still thinks it needs this freaking libSSL file? What's linking against libSSL? Because shouldn't I have, like... Did, like, Sentry Tower... Did your error handler error? Oh, it would have been better if my error handler errored. Did you typo default features? Oh, probably. No, actually. Oh, yes, I did. Because I didn't do... I didn't, like, typo it, but I definitely typoed it. Oh, that's annoying. I kind of assumed Cargo was gonna yell at me if I, like, had a key that wasn't valid. Like, I didn't realize I could just do foo as a key here, and Cargo wouldn't complain at me. Like, I guess that kind of makes sense for, like, compatibility reasons, but surprised me. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Lewis, for pointing out the typo. That was gonna... I wasn't gonna find that as quickly. And there we go. Now we remove native TLS from the diff. Okay. Actually remove OpenSSL as a diff. Try this one more time. Or, you know, as many times as we need to get it right. Yeah, and it makes sense that it just ignores things it doesn't care about, because then, like, a new version can add a new key, and old versions don't blow up. If they see it, they just ignore it. So, like, it really does make sense for compatibility reasons. I just wanted it to work the way I wanted it to work. Okay, so we got another 2 or 3 minute cycle. What's going on? Oh, this one's just finishing benches. I run benchmarks on every push to main, which is also why I should be on a branch right now, but, you know, then I wouldn't get to see all these fun OpenSSL deploy errors. Yeah, exactly, backwards compatibility. Okay, let's see, how's this going? Hopefully we can get some Sentry set up, and then... I'm not even sure if they were panics or what was going on with them. Another thing that I'm gonna have to do is, and then here's actually maybe somewhere where we'll get into using some Axum bits more eventually, is I'll need to make sure that I don't, yeah, so, okay, well, the panic will work, because right now I'm actually gonna panic, like, I'm unwrapping errors from things, and that's just gonna create panics. But ideally, what I think I want to do is, return the error but report it to Sentry. So, like, you know, maybe on any error that was gonna panic, I return a generic 500 and send it to Sentry or something, you know, kind of general error handling-y style. And I think that might be something that I would want to do next-ish. Not positive. I'm actually not really sure we have a great, like, do we have do we have do we have one of the any error handly thingies right now? I don't. Yeah, okay. Which is fine. I totally can just pull one in. I'd probably pull in Ire, color Ire. Air. That's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Air. Color air. Cool. We're building docs. Tests already ran. Oh, this is test then. I wanted build, but it doesn't matter. Oh, build already finished. Nice. Okay. It would be great, though, if the guard handler failed, and that's why it didn't work. Okay. And deploy started. Deploy is pretty quick, because all it has to do is move this binary over, and then if the binary doesn't have OpenSSL linked, it should just boot. If it has OpenSSL linked, all bets are off. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I was really hopeful for this one. Let's just go grab this password again. Oh, I gotta tap it. That's what it's waiting on. Ah, okay. It panicked. Test Sentry. Okay. But that means it did its job. It panicked at the right thing. Hey, Backward Spy. How is it going? Ooh, and yes, tail scale in the middle there for making it making so I can SSH to my boxes. Yes, it does seem like it panicked, but the guard did not catch it. That is seeming what happened, but there's also the chance. Oh nope, there's a better chance. I think I probably know what happened. Guessing, but I bet I messed up the syntax for adding an environment variable for systemd when I added the key, and I bet it just isn't actually here. And we can test that theory a bit by in here doing a print line for Sentry enabled. And I think what we're gonna see is we're not gonna see this get printed out. Reload your unit 2. It's saying it changed on disk, but it isn't in memory. Oh. Yeah, that's all I need to do. I don't need to. That's the issue. Thank you. Thank you for reading my error messages. I usually say that I'm pretty good about that, but definitely not there. Okay. Now restart it. And now does Sentry know about anything? Well, it got rid of the I've never seen an error screen. Aha! Yes! Unhandled! We have an error. Handled false, mechanism panic. Look at that. We even have a stack trace through Tokyo. Crashed in non-app code. Love it. Doesn't really show me the line, but that's okay. It's not really gonna in a backtrace like this. Okay, it's working. Yeah, I always forget that one. The freaking gotta reload the config file thing. I miss that one a lot. But this is working. Let's remove our panic and get going. Well, I guess I'll keep my print for Sentry enabled because it's not gonna hurt anything, but I don't really need it. And yes, Backward Spy, we were getting Sentry set up. We had some random 500s from the Monte Carlo in the middle of games, and I'm pretty sure they're panics, not timeouts, because the latency of the Monte Carlo is so like really spot on at like 400, 406, so they felt like panics. I didn't have good error handling. Now we at least have Sentry to tell us when things are broken. Yeah, I've thought about doing a new init system. I'm not saying I'm going to, but I've thought about writing a new init system, or not even like a new one. Like I don't want to write a general purpose one. I just want to write one that does exactly what I want it to do and nothing else. So maybe one day. Sentry works. Now let's actually do Battlesnake again. Yeah, Lewis, since I've just been writing pretty much just Rust, and I've been, avoiding OpenSSL and things like that for my projects, I've been able to avoid feeling like I need a Docker or a Docker alternative for a lot of things, so just an init system would be fine for me. I don't need both. Okay, so this, though, is going to be... Can I do in the next release? Well, like... I don't know if the release markers are going to work. Let's find out. An upcoming release. Let's see. Oh, it only happened once. I kind of thought it would retry more than that. Init system with container support. Well, if you're gonna make a new init system, it probably should have container support, right? That feels... Everything needs container support nowadays. Maybe even some WASM support? I don't know. I'm just throwing buzzwords at it now. I just want to see if I can trigger another one of these errors quick. Not really any reason. Just feels like the thing to do. Can I restart this without sudo? No, I can't. But that should have fired another event. Not sure it did, but I think it should have. Retro Damon's on the blockchain with our new Wazam Ether VM. Yes, that's it. That's it. We got all of them that time. I like that. Yeah, 30 seconds ago. Is it just like taking a while to come in? Is it not gonna come in? Like, it's not a huge deal, but I do think it should have happened again. I should have like 2 events, not just 1 event. Or is the UI? Yeah, okay, it is 2. Some of the UIs were just taking a while, lying to me. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, this one's still lying to me. It's fine, but like, come on, get better at caching. Okay, 1 minute ago, 4 minutes ago. Yep. We're about to put a new one out pretty soon, I bet. Yeah, pretty soon. Just need my box from CI, and then we can throw the executable over the wire. Okay. Awesome. You should be happy again. Sentry enabled. There we go. Awesome. Cool. I think I can get off that box. And let's run a game. Let's run a game. Okay, so if we have any crashes, we should see them in Sentry. And we should still also see honeycombs. I just want to make sure that I didn't break that environment variable either, because I was a little worried that I broke the environment variables. So we can check that right now. Nothing. Let's just look for recent things in the last 10 minutes. Perfect. 30. Yeah, this one's from this game. Awesome. Okay, great. Okay. How's the game going? Got distracted. They're Irene staying the same length. Not any panics yet, it doesn't look like, which is, you know, what's always gonna happen, right? We saw 2 in a game that prompted us to add Sentry, and now we're just not gonna see any for a while. Oh, I assume so, since you said you really liked it when you came back, Backward Spy, but would you, if you were choosing an error/crash reporting, would you pick Sentry? We all decided that Sentry was our preferred one. I was trying to decide if I should try something new, but everyone decided that they liked Sentry, and I agree. Oh, here's a good one though, Irene, and by a good one I mean this is a really dumb move, Irene. You shouldn't just go for the head-to-head. Yeah, that's fair. Everyone does seem to like Sentry. I don't think I've used another one that I liked more. So just curious. So I always like trying out new things, and was curious what people were thinking. I also do use it at work, so I do like it. Let's grab this fixture. Turn 135. Cargo run. Bin Sherlock. Fixture. Worth looking into the integrations if you haven't already. They add a lot of good stuff to your error reports. I think the Rust library has integrations for tracing, stack traces, and so on. Ooh, I should definitely do the one for tracing. I installed a Tower HTTP one that like I think will do some of those things, but I really should do a tracing integration because I have to imagine integrating with my tracing data would be really nice. Once we download this fixture, maybe we'll try to do that before the end of stream, so I do it before I wrap up. view name here is improbable Irene, and the turn is 135 if I remember correctly. Awesome. Perfect. Let's go to Irene and add a fixture. Do 7311. Oh man, I was hoping it was gonna auto-complete this for me. That's not the right file at all. Reveal in Finder. That's not what I really wanted. I just wanted it up here so that I can copy the file path. Copy path. That'll work. Okay. And then in my thing here, I think you should move left or down. And then backwards by says, for my APIs, I have integrations for the web framework, the database library, and other assorted stuff like Redis. It's so useful to be able to see everything leading up to a crash, like the incoming request, database queries, etc. Yeah, that sounds really nice. I'll have to look into that. I think luckily for my snakes, there's not too, not many of those like integration-y things, but in general, I love that. That's great. That's the one thing. So we do use Sentry for our error reporting at work. But besides that, we're kind of all in on Datadog, and they do have a little bit of error reporting stuff in Datadog now, but it's not my favorite. I like the Sentry stuff better. But it would be nice to be able to have everything in one spot. That's one of the reasons we have like our metrics in Datadog, we have our traces in Datadog, and I really like that because then everything's just in one spot. I'm pretty... Oh. There we go. Now that file exists. Sentry integration for everything is really useful because I've caught bugs in services that I didn't even know were an issue just because my software was crashing. Yeah, it's so great. I love error reporting. I'm actually a little annoyed with myself for not doing it until just now in Battlesnake, but you know, these things happen. I do like that I had tracing set up before error reporting, because that's just a little bit funny to me, because that's like the crash reporting is almost a little easier. Of course, this is another one of these where as soon as I freaking pull it down locally, it's gonna pass every time. But in a game, it did the opposite. Like what the bajonkers? Move 136. Turn 136 is what I meant. Turn 136. Name Monte Carlo tree search. Average score -1. Oh, see, so that seems interesting. That seems like a bug. I don't think it should have had average score of -1. Oh no, that just means it thinks everything lost. But that's like reasonable. But like, it's not reasonable. Because it's not the right answer. Yeah, it says that at this position, every move is a loss. Which there's no way. Yeah, there's no way that everything's a loss here. So this one's interesting. I definitely want to know what's going on. Oh yeah, thanks for hanging out, Chill Fox. Sorry it's the middle of the night for you, but thanks for hanging out and chatting. Have a good one, and see you soon. So this one's really interesting. Like, why are we... Well, first of all, it's not happening locally. We're not looking in the right path that often. The scores we get out of here are not the same there. Like, it's silly almost how different they are. And we're visiting up the... Wait, up? We're visiting up here? Why up? Assuming it takes health into account, the snake's health was extremely low, so it probably couldn't find a single win condition. But like, can't it make it to this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have more than 6 health. It just doesn't seem like such a guaranteed, especially for a Monte Carlo tree search. Like if my min-max told me it was a loss, like maybe because it like does the search, but like Monte Carlo thinking everything's a loss. Like, because Monte Carlo will probably run like him running into the, like him running off the board into the hazard sauce once. So it's super interesting that Monte Carlo said that like every time it ran a game here, it ended in a loss, no matter how the randomness happened for Hobbs. But like that seems like a bug to me. There seems like there's gotta be some cases that didn't work out. And it's not like we didn't run lots of iterations, because we ran almost 2 million iterations there. See, so that's interesting. Can't quite tell from here. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can make this bigger for you. You can always just let me know if you're having trouble reading things. But sorry about that. But yeah, that's 2 million almost. So like we went to 2 million nodes and we thought all of them were a loss. And there's something fishy about that. So let's leave this as a fixture. Oh, well, except for the thing is that like I can leave it as a fixture, but it's not failing locally. I think that's the same for both of these two. This failed in a game, but passes every time in the test. Yeah, that's a perfect message. I have no idea why. Oh, wait. Did that just panic? Hey, I did it. Which one did I run? It's 7th. Yeah, 131. Okay, the one we're looking at. Hey, thank you for the follow, Shrama. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to. Let's try it. Shramavavilvehexpen. Oh man, there's too many consonants next to each other there. That username was hard. But thank you for the follow anyways. Had 11 health on turn 135, so yeah, should have been able to reach that food. Yeah, right? There's definitely a bug. And this is an interesting one, because I was running the test over and over again, and I caught a time where it failed after succeeding almost all the time. And interestingly, it thinks going right, it visited that like almost 2,000 times. It thinks right is definitely the best move. What's the order of these things we're printing out? We are printing out the average score, the UCB1 normal, the number of visits, and the move. Okay, so average score is the average score. The UCB normal is how we choose the next thing. So we choose the highest UCB normal. So like this time, oh yeah, we're gonna exploit this. That's why we keep exploring this one, because its UCB is high. And these ones, again, going down and left, it really thinks that both of those lead to death. They're very, very close. And going right, but why does going right have such a high score? Going right should basically always be a death. Not always, right? But basically always. See, and this is where the, just Monte Carlo is hard for me to wrap my head around, because I think that just comes down to what happened the first few rollouts. And maybe it's that UCB1 isn't what I want to be using here. Maybe? Because I know there's other things. You don't have to do UCB1, right? There's other algorithms for calculating this. It happened again. Where every time, yeah, see, and this time it's at every time. Every time we rolled out a down, and every time we rolled out a left, and we did each of those 61 times, it resulted in a death. So then we keep going right. But that's super interesting. I really want to be able to see way more information from a Monte Carlo. I kind of want to see a visual record of every rollout that happened. So like all 2,000 of these. Oh my gosh. That would be an enormous data structure, but that would actually be pretty cool. If I could like walk through and like look at all 61 of these things and see like where we rolled out to and like what positions we got to that ended in the loss. And then, you know, I wouldn't want to look at 2,000 of these, but take a sample of them and see how most of them ended up in wins or something. You know, this is still a non-negative score, or a not it's much better than -1 exactly. Interesting. Another interesting thing. Do we get any more? Oh, we did. Look at that. We got a panic. This one's resolved. Okay, so I don't know if I'm actually getting oh, I was on a custom search. I didn't want to be on a custom search. Okay, so here's a panic. Where's our panic happening? The trace for this event can't be found. Read the docs to understand why. Okay. I don't understand its logic for determining down as a failure. It does when the fail survives, it doesn't go into head-to-head, it hits anything. That's so weird. I've long thought about how useful it would be to have a decision tree visualizer. I never got around to the implementation, but it would be so great to be able to click through decisions, take a peek at the snake's brain. Yeah, I think I might be thinking that I need to build that backwards spy, because I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out what the next thing is for Monte Carlo. I think I need to be able to visualize it more and see into the brain a bit. But Lewis, back to your thing. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with Monte Carlo, but so what's happening is for each of this number, so 61 is how many times we looked at left. So what it does is when it looks at left, it basically like simulates out random games all the way to the end. And it thought that all 61 of those random games ended up in death for going left, is what it's telling me. I don't understand why it's telling me that, right? Because it doesn't make sense to me that the down in 61 random games always ends in death. Like, I guess maybe 61 random games maybe just didn't find the food in those, and same with left. But I guess it's more interesting to me that in almost 2,000 random games, they weren't all almost death, because I feel like they would almost all be death here. So interesting. But yeah, backwards spy. I really think I'm gonna need to make one of these. I don't really know how it's gonna work yet, but I think that's gonna get there. Just out of curiosity, how many did it get to search through on non-crash runs? Oh, we have some stats for that. Oh, so let's actually see what's total number. So I have some stats. I have like the total number of iterations thing. I just want to make sure that like I understand what this does before I tell you the value. Total number of iterations. Yeah. So in Monte Carlo, what I'm counting here of number of iterations is going through and picking a leaf node, and then expanding it and picking the next one. So the expand is where we like do a simulated game, or no, simulates where we do a simulated game. So yeah, how many times do we do all of this is basically the question. Here's where simulating happens, and then back propagating for the algorithm. So total of number of iterations is like really what we're looking at here. So then we can just do a query where we graph that average number, total number of iterations, and here's the graph. So like it's very spiky, where like at the end of games, I think, or when something happens, it'll spike up to like millions, like a million almost. But it sounds like maybe if we did like the median, or like what's something better than the average, like the P50. Do like the P50 of total number of interaction of that. We're looking at like peaking at 450,000, staying in like the tens of thousands of range most of the time until game's end, it looks like. Could you graph it with the response duration too? I wonder if there's a correlation. Oh, for sure. I don't think there's going to be, but I am more than happy to test that out. The reason I don't think so Um, well, I also maybe want to change this to omit missing. I don't know which one was better, fill missing to 0 or not. Um, so the reason I don't think it's going to be super related to duration, oh, those ones are a little slower. 427, 419. Oh, wait, maybe there is a core. Oh, no, actually. Where the big spikes are is when I'm responding definitely at 400. Oh, actually, that definitely makes a little bit of sense, though. Okay, so back to what I was going to explain, and then we'll go back to graphs. This while condition here that we get in Monte Carlo, it just gets passed in from here, but all this is really doing is checking if it's been over 400 milliseconds since the last time we looped. So on the ones that are able to loop really fast, probably because like the tree's really small or something at that point, we are really at 400, like it's just barely over 400 because we're looping so fast we can stop exactly at 400. When we're doing less loops, sometimes we need a few extra milliseconds, so 420, 419, to like do another loop, I think, and get caught up. So there is some correlation. That's actually a little bit interesting. Not what I was expecting to see, honestly, but definitely some correlation. I think these are like what I called in my min-max runaway games, where like it might have actually fully evaluated the board and know all the states, but it just keeps looping and like picking the same thing over and over and over again, and just basically is an unoptimized algorithm where I can just like recognize that state and just stop. That's what my min-max one does. This feels kind of similar, where these are just peaking like way too high. But it's also interesting that like, actually, can I do this by game ID? Are these in the same game? Nah, okay, that's also really helpful. We can see that when they spike, it's always in an individual game. We never see a game that spikes twice. So I do think this is when it thinks the game's like pretty over. It's like essentially solved the board. It's seen all of the positions it can see. And we just probably can maybe even like not process as much and like stop a little early, or something. Or maybe that means we need to explore different states more. I don't know, but it definitely seems like a runaway game that's like not actually doing much work. But I do like the graphs. We have lots of graphs now, and we can actually see some things. We can see how many iterations it's taking. We can see the scores. It doesn't give me the average score per move. Like, I really want to see the scores for each different move. And maybe I want to pull that out. Let's look into pulling that out. Actually, you know what? Let's not, because that's like a whole separate thing. But one thing that we should look into, is one, we have this panic that I just like forgot about. Where are you panicking? Am I gonna be able to get an actual code from you at all? On join error. Wait, whoa. Hey, happy new year, General Error. Thanks for stopping by. The graphs are really useful. It's interesting to see how little the iter spikes get compared to some of the over budget durations. Yeah, I really do agree that the graphs are very nice. But I am just a little how the iteration spike compared to some of the over budget durations. Yeah, it is very interesting. I wasn't expecting the over budgets to be the small ones. That is surprising. Like, it makes sense when I explained it to myself, but that definitely surprised me. Having graphs is really nice. But again, happy new year, General Error. I know I said that once, but how is it going? So one thing that's annoying here is that I don't have any like actual information of where this panic happened. So maybe that's because I want to actually get some of these traces in here. So let's do like Rust Sentry tracing. Async stacks, fantastic. Yes, exactly. So I think this is what I want though. I'm gonna want, oh, it's just another tracing subscriber. Oh my gosh, yes, I want Sentry tracing. What platform is that we're looking at? So there's a few. This is Sentry for error and crash reporting. We just hooked this up on stream today. That's probably what you were talking about for the stack trace here. The other one that we looked at a little bit for the graphs and stuff, this is Honeycomb. This is where my tracing data for like all requests go, and then I think some of the tracing data for failures is going to go to Sentry. That's what we're about to hook up. But this is like my metrics and my stats, so we could see like how many iterations my Monte Carlo was doing and stuff like that. And we're kind of bridging the gap here between the two by introducing this Sentry tracing thing. Another fixture that works most of the time. So this is a new snake. This is a this is my new Improbable Irene is the name. It's my new Monte Carlo tree search snake. So Hobbs is Hobbs is min-max, a paranoid min-max. And Irene is Monte Carlo. So we're working on Irene, my Monte Carlo snake, today. And really we were doing some error reporting and some metricsy things. And you know, looked at some snake games and some logic, but weren't super deep into that nitty-gritty today. Sentry tracing added, and then I think all I really want to do. Secondly, error events can be captured as events. Family stands can be reported as structured transaction events. By default, the events above info are recorded as breadcrumbs. Events above error are captured as error events, and spans above info are recorded as transactions. Okay, so I might want to end up changing the traces sample rate. We'll see like how much this sends, but right now we're just gonna send everything to tracing. And we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so let's go to our main for WebAxum, where we do the tracing. Perfect. That was easy. Cool. So this is kind of unrelated, but not really. Getting back to what you were saying, General Error, about whether this is related to Hobbs. The end idea for like making a snake is that I want to combine the min-max and the Monte Carlo and use like use both of them to make a decision. So I think I'll end up with a new snake that takes the guts of Hobbs and Irene and kind of smashes them together is the end goal eventually. But gotta make the Monte Carlo work reasonably before I try to smash it together with Hobbs. Okay, let's see. None of those said anything specific. libc. No, we always are gonna need a libc. I'm just trying to make sure that we're not about to have pulled back in something that's gonna link to OpenSSL. OpenSSL probe, that's scary. Yeah, where are you coming from? Oh, RustLS native certs. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, I think we're good. Install Sentry tracing info. Let's see what that does. So I'm kind of curious whether this is going to show up like all of the traces or just the ones with errors. I just don't really understand what's going to happen with this Sentry integration. We're going to find out. I'm going to take a page out of Shapeshifter's book and fall back to Monte Carlo in Space Heater when I get stuck in paranoid situations when I think I'm going to die. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. General Error is doing something like that. Like maybe try and do like a little bit, you know, try to come up with other scenarios like that where I want to take one over the other. But something like that is my first general idea. But I want my Monte Carlo to work good first. And thank you, Lewis, for confirming that the probe was good. I assumed so, since it was in the RustLS certificate package, and that would have surprised me if it wasn't going to blow up on me. But thank you for double checking. Or confirming, whatever. And then the other, not interesting, the other thing is just this has happened quite a few times, so hopefully we can just run some more games and we should hopefully see this again with trace data would be ideal. And so Sentry with just the transactions and not error reporting is totally new to me and not something. Oh, the root should. Ooh, we're getting panics on code that I wrote. Ooh, that's really fun. Like this is I wrote this panic. This exists in my code. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That'll be a fun one. See, I needed to set up this earlier so that I could actually see these blowing up on me. It'll be really nice once we get some more traces in here. Maybe there's actually some information attached to these. Oh, it'll be great. Is there like Sentry Tokyo? Like, I don't know, let's just search for some more things. Sentry tracing. Yeah, okay, that's probably the one I want. Okay, well, that's deploying now. Yeah, better late than never. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, what it really means is though that I was just suffering these panics as just bad moves when we were snake gaming. I guess the other thing is it'll be interesting to see if we get any of these on Hobbs. I think Hobbs is less panicky because I've found and fixed most of those. Irene, obviously not so much. Oof. Okay. Let's get this deployed and then let's throw a bunch of games at Irene to see if we can get something that'll look different in issues. 2 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. Yeah, we can just throw some games at it. Looks like they're happening relatively often. There's this. Wow, it's taking a while to attach to workspace here. No, it's not. Just the UI was being slow. Okay. Let's go spam some games at Irene and see if we can get some more panics. Maybe Hobbs would panic too. That would be interesting. No panics yet, I don't think. I don't think I saw the thing go up at all. Oh, that's another reason these are taking a little longer. I was curious why we were seeing things that sometimes took like the 419 and stuff duration. And one reason is because we're running on the same box that Hobbs is. So I should have 2 vCPUs, so enough that we should be able to be doing both of this in parallel, but it's gotta be just contention is leading to it not being 406 all the time. Because in games where Irene is running without Hobbs, it's very, very consistent. So that's got to have something to do with it. Man, I want one newer than 3 minutes ago. I hate when you're wanting errors because it's not. It just feels so unfortunate to want everything to break, but you know. Oh, well, that one wasn't an error, but like that's definitely not the right move, Irene. And again, I bet if I did this, it wouldn't even show up locally. I'm not gonna, because I have enough of those right now, but I bet it would've. You throwing any more errors? I just want to see. Oh, yay! Do we have more data? Do we have cooler things? We have basically the same stack trace. Ah, here we go. Yeah. Well, so these are just... not super helpful. These ones seem like they're coming from different requests, which feels like it shouldn't be attached to this. And that was a thing that they were talking about in the Tokyo thingy. So I might have messed that up a tiny bit. That's okay. I think certain parts of the tree search stuff is not CPU but memory bandwidth limited. So 2 CPUs might share a limited amount of memory bandwidth, causing your snakes to interfere with each other. Oh yeah, that could definitely be it too. Yeah, that's fair. I actually don't know. I've been assuming it's pretty CPU, but you're right. It really could be memory like that. I don't know that for any reason. So that's really interesting. I like that. The other thing that I was gonna say in that was even though that I have the two CPUs and they're both running together and that should be just the two threads, I do have like a thread pool for the web stuff sitting around, so there are other things happening. Not that I think like that's really gonna be the thing. But yeah. Yeah, it's tracing every single event, so every time a trace is getting called, it's sent to Spectre, which will associate mostly unrelated traces, though it's nice to have in some cases traces as breadcrumbs. Okay, yeah. That, like, makes sense. And, like, this one, well, no, maybe this doesn't actually make any sense as going with this. Okay. Well, I'll keep the tracing thing on for now, because I definitely don't think it's wrong, but I feel like it's not quite as helpful as I wanted it to be. Especially because, like, traces aren't showing up here. Like, the make move is, which is good, because I did want to see this call. But like, it would be kind of nice if the tracing routes that I added were here as well. But I know I'm asking a lot. The other error probably ate the breadcrumbs. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I also think some of the stuff just might be configured a little bit off. Power. Make tower HTTP enable the power feature. Yeah. So there's a thing, but there's no link for it. That's great. Layer where each request gets its own Sentry hub. So I wonder if I needed to do this layer higher up. Usage. The HTTP feature offers another layer which will attach request details and optionally start a new performance monitoring. This is sometimes not desirable in the case the request URI contains IDs are similar. In this case, users should manually override it. When combining both layers, take care. For example, we'll always define the hub layer before the HTTP one. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And it might just be working. I just want to take a look at it here. Okay, so we get our guard, but then when we enable the layers in this, yeah, so I did Sentry layer, and then I did Sentry tower, new Sentry layer, then Sentry HTTP layer. Yep. I don't know if I want these to come before or after this level though. Do you have recording such replay functionality? I tend to just replay the panicked move request in debug mode or with more logging, and that tends to work. That's a good point. This is probably not how I would actually debug this Sentry. I was more just trying to make the Sentry view have the information that I would want. But let's see. To that point though, does this have a game ID in it? Because if so, that might be all that I actually need to know. Oh wait, this panicked on a start request. Oh, that's also interesting. Yeah, so a source map equivalent thing would be really cool as well. For sure. Yeah, I don't really think I like their traces integration, but I don't think, like, I think that's fine. It's just, I just don't think I like it. And yeah, I don't get the game ID here. And like, I could find it, right? Because what I can do is, what I could probably do is like take this trace ID and go here and do a query for like trace ID. And like, I can probably find the trace ID. Oh, I didn't find that trace ID. Okay, well, that was my idea. I just want to tie the things together nicely, because if I get a panic, I want to know what game it's for. And I guess I can do that manually, but I don't really want to do it manually. I didn't want to have to, like, capture a context to send to this specifically and stuff like that. And they're happening on different routes too, which is interesting. Oh, it hadn't happened on Hobbs move too. Oh, interesting. Yeah, these ones are a little different. Result unwrap on error value. Join error panic. Where am I? Yeah, where's that happening? Yeah, not the most helpful. Oh, and I wonder if when we panic, I'm not gonna get the trace in Honeycomb because it's never gonna make it there. That might be the case. These are also not the same. All of it, like those shouldn't be the same. Oh, they're not the same. They're grouped differently here. Got it. This one hasn't happened in a while. These ones have. The trace for this event can't be found. But I'm sending you trace data. Interesting. Yeah, panicking probably won't send stuff to Honeycomb. Yeah, exactly. Which makes sense, which is kind of why I want it to go somewhere, which makes sense for here. Yeah. I also just don't understand this new add support for automatic hub binding to each request received by the tower server. This allows breadcrumbs collected the request handling to land in a specific hub and avoid having them mixed across requests should a new hub be bound at each request. Okay, yeah, I don't really think this is exactly what I'm looking at. Your traces don't equal Sentry traces. They're Sentry breadcrumbs. I'll be honest, I don't remember what Sentry traces are. I'll get back to you on, yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. But like, well, the annoying thing is though, they are the traces, right? Because I'm sending my distributed tracing traces. I totally understand that they might be coming up as breadcrumbs. But they also, I think I'm sending distributed tracing data to Sentry because I'm sending the same data that I'm sending to Honeycomb now. But it only has errors. Like it just doesn't have just traces. Man, what a weird product. Do you use spans too? Yep. Yeah, like in Honeycomb, that's what we were looking at over here. Like I have spans and traces and stuff like that. Not a ton at the moment, and not a ton in these code paths, but definitely some. Environments, team issues, dynamic sampling, processing, debugging, source maps, performance. None of these even say tracing. Is it also that I have to like pay for tracing? Is that part of this too? Because I'm definitely not paying for anything if that has something to do with it. No, because it doesn't have the bolt next to it. That's what it would tell me if it had something to do with that. Transactions received. Yeah. Huh. I don't even know what's going on. That's why I'm so confused about their integration with tracing. Because like I don't necessarily want to look at the tracing data here. I'm just more confused what I'm sending to them. But it's here. Like these are, like you're not wrong. They are showing up as breadcrumbs. These are my traces. Though I guess these are just the messages, right? And I guess it's possible that these errors aren't in spans. There's one error that I know should be in a span. This one should be in a span. And when did it happen most recently? 9 minutes ago, which is, yeah, when we had span data, I think. Which way is your Sentry stack? The HTTP page says the HTTP layer goes on top of the hub, so it might be why it's missing data. So I think I have that because I was looking at that. But take a look for me. So this is the hub one, and I have the HTTP one underneath, and I think that's the order it wants. I also have trace tower for tower HTTP not Sentry Tower. So there's a few things, right? This is Sentry. This is the Sentry layer. This is the thing that adds the new hub. This is the thing they call the hub. I don't know why. Then there's Sentry HTTP, and then I have Trace HTTP underneath. So many layers. I think this is the right way, but I'm not positive. Try putting your hub at the bottom. See, I thought it wanted the hub at the top, because you're looking at this with I have that doc page open. Let me just click it on my iPad. It's fine. Oh. I would have sworn I had a doc that said do it the other way. Yeah, look. This doc says do it this way. Oh my gosh. I love documentations that conflict. Okay, let's try it out though. Reorder these maybe? Yeah, because I was actually trying to be so good about that. I had specifically checked for the right order. It's just the fact that we found docs that have them in different orders. Yeah, because it was in the make move. Yeah, see, this one definitely should be in a trace, right? Because we're in Improbable Irene's make move. And if we look at Improbable Irene's make move, I open an info span immediately and do all of the logic inside of it. So something had to happen inside a span here. And then in Monte Carlo tree search, we do a new span, an info span here. So we really should have had some spans for that one. Do you see traces and spans up here sometimes, Lewis? Do you know that this is supposed to work? I'm just trying to make sure I'm not debugging just Sentry, just not doing what I think it's doing, which would be fine. I'm just trying to understand. Okay, I think I pushed something. I'm not really sure. Hey, thank you for the follow, Safik. Man, these usernames are really hard for me to pronounce, but thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it, team. We've got a lot of follows to this stream. It's been a lot of fun. I want to see this deploy go out, but then I think we are gonna wrap up here. It's been a good stream, but we're getting close to 2 hours, 45 minutes, 3 hours, so it's been a good one. Okay, so we do expect something to work eventually. But yeah, well, one, it's just not a huge deal for this, right? Like we'll figure it out eventually, and maybe we'll see traces. Yeah, so the breadcrumbs are just like the stream, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe this is related, and especially I think with async, it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's related. But I'm expecting this to be different. But again, this one I'm not expecting it here, because this is before the deploy is even out. With the reorder that like maybe is gonna help us. Yeah, so the tracing subscriber, see, I also have that set up as well, which is why I'm so confused. I think I've put all of these pieces together, and maybe this reorder will help, or, you know, maybe not. And like, some of the stuff is definitely coming from tracing. The tracing subscriber stuff must be set up because I'm getting this. We wouldn't get this listening on unless the tracing subscriber stuff was set up. Yeah, just everything's so odd. Okay, that deploy went through. The other thing that I'm definitely going to need to set up is releases. Oh wait, no, are they versioned? Oh, cool. Battlesnake 5. Okay, so we might actually get one. Like they might be versioned a little bit. Let's create some games. Create game. Custom game. Irene. Wrapped. Royale. Go. Oh, those are issue identifiers, not versions. Fair. Yep. Okay. I am gonna have to add version-y thingies then so that it knows different releases, because I think that's why my until next release, like resolve until next release, didn't work for me earlier. But that makes sense. Nice catch on what I was looking at there, and it not being. Seems like it's basing its release data off of something though. Yeah. It's basing it off. Oh, it's off my cargo. That makes sense. Okay, because I did add the macro. Like the macro did do something for version number. Yeah, it has release name here. And I just didn't know what that was gonna do. Yeah. Okay, I see. It's trying to call the cargo package version. That makes sense. Not what I want, but it makes sense. I don't actually increment that. I probably want something based off the git tag or something, which I might have available as an environment variable. I don't know. Okay, 17 seconds ago. Nope, no trace yet. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna call it. You can alias it to a git hash if you want to do some fun things. Yeah, I think that's what I've done before, is just used the git hash as the version, and then just, especially because I have auto deploys on git, so everything kind of just like works nicely there. So I will probably do that eventually, but I don't think that's happening right now. I think I'm gonna wrap up here for today, team. Thank you for coming along and hanging out. It was a lot of fun getting Sentry up and getting some graphs. Yeah, I don't know either what's going on, Lewis. What's going on with these traces? I will debug a little bit and see if I can figure it out. But at least I know that things are panicking now. I didn't even know that was happening before. So steps in the right direction. Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with async. This stack trace, like we were talking about before, is like basically useless because it's just async code. So it feels like there might be something there. It is nice though that I'm actually getting all of the headers and everything. Actually, I guess the fact that this is all working means that some of the tower HTTP stuff is working nicely, so that's good. And all of the breadcrumbs are still here, so I guess that was just not really related either. So who knows? Making progress, but not finding the answer yet, but that is okay. Well, I'm gonna wrap up here, team. Thank you all for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see, what do I want to say at the end here? Oh, go check my YouTube channel out. It's CoreyJA is my name over there. I've been making Advent of Code videos, and I've got through day 13 over there if you want to go check those videos out. And besides that, you can find me on the Fediverse. You'll see it on my leaving screen, and I also have a Discord where I've been hanging out and chatting with people, trying to start a little community and things like that. So you'll see a little QR code on my ending screen here. If you scan that, you should end up in my Discord server. Anyone is welcome to come and chat and hang out. And I think with that, I'm gonna wrap up here today. Thanks for coming along and streaming with me. And Happy New Year's, everyone. I will probably read some chats, and then I will say bye and log off. Ooh, it's Hobbs. Oh, is this one Hobbs? Is Hobbs blowing up on this one? That's funny. Oh, it is. So even Hobbs has some blow-ups. Ooh, that's a good thing to notice. Nice catch. Ooh, nice. Not even joking. Good job getting a new snake started. I like that. Oh, Pedrosario, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming in. You caught the tail end of it. But thank you, everyone, for coming. And I will see everyone in some Discords probably in the next week. And hopefully see you next Sunday again on stream. Thanks, everyone. Bye.